Welcome to Atlanta's Commercial Real Estate Show, brought to you by Bull Realty, the show for property owners and business leaders. Host Michael Bull brings you market analysis, advice, and opportunities around Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta's Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. This segment is brought to you by Bull Realty Asset and Occupancy Solutions. Visit bullrealty.com. Today we're going to talk about hotels, and we're going to talk about hotel business in Atlanta. Please welcome my guest, David Marvin. He's with Legacy Ventures, and Brian Waldman. He's with Peachtree Hotel Group. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us here in Studio One.
Thank you for having us.
So the hotel industry seems like it's been booming around Atlanta. You guys are here. You know what's going on. What is going on in the Atlanta hotel industry? Is it hot? Is the forecast strong?
I'm quite bullish. We're probably over-invested in downtown, and that's been the case for many years. And we may have arrived at this space unadvisedly, but it's been a great place to be because downtown is going strong, and the promise is absolutely fantastic. So I think that Atlanta's experiencing a measure of new supply that's beginning to threaten this joyride that we've been on with record occupancies. But it's very constrained. It's all in the limited service space for the most part. And it's really, there is no new supply, oversupply in the urban core where we're more focused.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of, I guess, might consider you an early pioneer to downtown, but boy, downtown is hot. I mean, that's the place to be now, isn't it?
I think so. We developed and own 4 hotels and manage a 5th hotel downtown, and we have collectively about 1,500 rooms and employ probably about 700 people downtown.
So your hotels and restaurants down there just killing it?
No, I won't say they're killing it. I think we're doing well. Downtown's an extremely challenging market. It's a challenge to purchase and develop and so on and so forth. It's also a challenge to operate because the demand is quite variable. Downtown is going to be absolutely crazy in the college football championship that's coming, but on a quiet day like today, there's very little going on, and so that's a challenge in terms of how to supply and staff and manage around demand that's very variable. So I'm not complaining because I think we figured out how to manage around that, but it's we're not minting money like they do in the apartment market.
Now, Brian, you guys do stuff everywhere. What do you guys feel? How you feel about Atlanta?
We like Atlanta a lot. I mean, we have significantly less investment in Atlanta right now than David does, but I think when you look at Atlanta as a whole, it's a great city. The fundamentals are really there. Downtown's really come into its own. When you look at the event calendar over the next few years, it should be really positive for Atlanta. And even coming back to the supply comment, when you look at the last cycle, Atlanta has really been an undersupplied city in terms of new supply coming online. So we do have a lot of new supply coming on, and as a developer and with investments in downtown, I definitely have some concerns about the number of rooms coming. But I think longer term, when you look at all the positives that are happening in terms of Atlanta, in terms of the corporate lows and the events, the Mercedes, Benz Arena and everything, I think Atlanta is going to do great over time.
Are there areas of Atlanta that you guys have an interest in that you think are promising?
Yeah, I mean, we sort of look everywhere. I think everything depends on the price that you pay for it and the economics of the deal, right? I mean, we've looked at everything from, downtown to midtown, Buckhead, and the suburbs. There's a lot of money chasing Atlanta, so from an acquisition perspective, it's a matter of finding the right deals, but if you could find the right deals at the right price, I think there's still some good opportunities in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. David, you guys looking for anything in particular around Atlanta?
Yeah, I think I just parrot what Brian said. We're very comfortable developing as well as acquiring, but I think that the nodes where there's the most corporate demand as a base are where we're most comfortable. So certainly the central perimeter area is a very exciting area, and we're looking to make some investments there with a concentration of now over 30 million square feet of office. Buckhead has really not seen a lot of new supply, and I think that's a good market, and one that where there's a couple of brands, families that are underserved. Midtown is seeing some new supply. I'd say probably more significant in Midtown than downtown. So I think Midtown is certainly going strong, but the thing that drives hotel business from our perspective is on the commercial side, and so I think the concentration of office stock and jobs, and then the meeting and convention and group business.
Yeah. What about developing hotels or buying hotels that are in mixed-use developments? You see that as a plus, negative? Any comments on mixed-use properties?
Well, we like it. We think, and we're increasingly being invited into prospective projects where perhaps there's retail, office, apartment, and then they're looking for a hotel. And I think the guest experience is enhanced if you're parachuting into an area that's supported by a number of restaurants and where you can lean on the demand generated from the office and the apartment. So I think it's a positive. I think that it's a challenge when you lose control of a development by virtue of you being part of a larger development. And so I think who you partner with, who you venture with, who's the master developer, what's your relationship with the other development components is absolutely critical there.
Brian?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. We're looking at, or we're involved in a number of mixed-use developments right now, mostly outside of Atlanta. But when you look at the data, hotels that are part of a mixed-use complex versus those that aren't, we're definitely seeing the rate premium and the occupancy premium. So I think from an investment perspective, there's definitely a lot of positive, but I completely agree with David in terms of the challenges that go with it, making sure you have the right partners and the right structure, and things like parking agreements and things like that you just need to have worked out on the front end. But if you could effectively execute, we think there's a lot of value in that.
And I think one of the big impediments to development today is costs. Costs have risen dramatically, and so if you can share parking and thereby reduce your costs, if you can deliver a full service guest experience by putting a limited service hotel with a limited service hotel operating profile into a mixed use project with restaurants and other amenities, and effectively deliver to your guest a full service guest experience, but in a more profitable way by virtue of it being part of a mixed use. Those are great ways to delivering more for less capital cost.
Yeah, I think that's key. I mean, I think especially when you look at the real estate is controlled by a lot of these agreements in these mixed-use developments, and these buildings will be here 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, right? And things will change, right? There's only one constant in this world, that's change, and the impact of those agreements and what's controlled can be interesting as we move forward. So what about announcements? This is a show for Atlanta commercial real estate. What do you guys like to announce and tell the world that you're doing right now or next year?
I think you're running for some office, aren't you, Michael? We can make that announcement.
I'm not well known enough.
I think for us, I don't know that we have any major announcements to make today. I feel like we have a good pipeline of projects that we're working on, both on the acquisition and development side. We have a lending company as well, and we feel really good going into 2018. But I think we'll make you wait till next year to hear, as the deals actually get signed and done.
Yeah, it's a faux pas to talk about things until the ink is dry. But one thing that I will mention, and actually Brian's firm has been an investor in this project. We have a very fun project that we've just launched downtown with the rebirth of the American Hotel. The American Hotel was first opened over 50 years ago by a Jewish orthodontist who created the first integrated hotel for downtown Atlanta, and in its capacity as such was instrumental in bringing the Braves as a team to Atlanta and has a rich history of welcoming all guests, and it's been a real privilege and a lot of fun to rebirth this hotel and to restore it to its original name, the Atlantan Hotel, the American Hotel rather, in downtown Atlanta.
It's interesting. What's the opening date?
It's open.
It's open now, okay.
Yeah, we acquired it 2 years ago and have been diligently doing a comprehensive refurbishment, tipping our hat to the era. It's got a mid-century modern design, and we've had a lot of fun with it. There's a 65 Plymouth Barracuda that's restored, that's parked in front, and a 63 Bambi Airstream trailer that we craned into the pool area where we serve some refreshments and a few other fun things. But anyway, it's really adding, I think, to the downtown hospitality stock a different dimension, a different offering, a very lifestyle kind of offering.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you're watching the video, you're seeing some images of this, but if you're listening to it, we'll have a link below so you can check it out online. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on Atlanta's Commercial Real Estate Show.